Humanity was not just fighting back. They were transforming the entire nature of technological warfare. Each encounter made them stronger, faster, more adaptive. The counteroffensive moved beyond Earth's solar system. What started as a desperate survival strategy became a technological revolution. Humanity was no longer just defending. They were reclaiming. Park Jun looked at the holographic displays, showing the expanding human fleet. Each ship told a story of survival, of turning destruction into creation. The aliens had tried to end humanity. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous. The reclamation had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. Lee Sung said, monitoring alien communication channels. They can't process how we did this. Each disabled ship was a message. Humanity was not defeated. Humanity was not broken. Humanity was waiting, watching, and now striking back. Park Jun understood something critical. This wasn't just about fighting. This was about showing the aliens that humans were more than just another conquered species. They were adaptable. They were unpredictable. They were dangerous. The improvised fleet moved like a living organism. Each ship communicated through advanced AI systems, adapting in real time. Where alien technology followed rigid protocols, human technology learned and changed constantly. 3 more patrol ships went dark. No explosions, no dramatic destruction, just sudden, complete technological neutralization. Alien command centers began to show signs of confusion. Their perfectly organized patrol systems were experiencing inexplicable failures. Communications became fragmented. Confidence turned to uncertainty. "They're scared," Choi Hyun said, watching the communication logs. "They don't understand what's happening." The first strike was more than a military operation. It was a psychological assault. Humanity was sending a clear message. We are not victims. We are not defeated. We are something entirely unexpected. As quickly as they appeared, the modified warships vanished. No dramatic retreats. No prolonged battles. Just a surgical demonstration of technological superiority born from humanity's most desperate moments. In alien command centers, strategists would spend countless hours trying to understand what had happened. How could ships constructed from industrial scrap defeat their advanced patrol systems? How could a supposedly defeated species create such unexpected technological disruption? Park Jun allowed herself a small smile. This was just the beginning. It was a reimagining of human potential. From the broken remnants of their civilization, a new hope was emerging. Silent, organized, and absolutely determined. The aliens had made one critical mistake. They thought they had destroyed humanity. But they had only awakened something far more dangerous, a global network of innovators, engineers, and survivors who would transform destruction into their most powerful weapon. The rebellion was coming, and no one saw it coming. The first squadron emerged from hidden underground manufacturing centers, like ghosts rising from impossible depths. These were not clean, perfect spacecraft. They were brutal machines cobbled together from Earth's broken remains. Each vessel told a story of human survival, improvisation, and raw determination. Park Jun stood in the control center, her hand steady on the communication console. The modified warships looked like nightmares constructed from industrial scraps. Angular, unpredictable, nothing like the sleek alien designs they would soon challenge. "Target acquired," Lee Sung announced, his voice calm despite the tension. Alien patrol ships moved in their standard predictable patterns, completely unaware of the threat emerging beneath them. The first ship moved. Its engines were a combination of salvaged military technology and adapted alien drive systems. Where the aliens expected smooth movements, this vessel darted with unexpected agility. Radar systems that should have detected it found nothing. The ship's adaptive camouflage technology made it nearly invisible. Kim Yuna watched the tactical displays, her military training guiding every decision. "Attack vector calculated," she said. "Maximum surprise, minimum exposure." The alien patrol never saw them coming. The first strike was surgical, not a massive assault, but a precise demonstration of human technological adaptation. One patrol ship simply disappeared from sensors, not destroyed, but completely disabled by technological interference that the aliens couldn't comprehend. Another ship experienced total system failure. Its advanced alien technology suddenly became nothing more than floating metal, its complex systems rendered useless by human-engineered disruption signals. They're trying to understand what happened. The sky burned with an angry orange, casting long shadows across the broken landscape of what was once a thriving industrial zone. Park June walked carefully between twisted metal and shattered machinery, her boots crunching on the scattered debris of humanity's last stand. Around her, the world looked like a massive graveyard of technology. Cars half-crushed, communication towers bent like broken fingers, and countless machines lying silent and defeated. She knelt down, picking up a piece of a damaged circuit board. Her fingers traced the intricate pathways, seeing not just a broken component, but a potential piece of something greater. The alien invasion had been brutal, leaving Earth looking like a massive scrapyard. But Jun saw opportunity where others saw only destruction. A small group of survivors watched her carefully. They were engineers, mechanics, and technicians, the last people who understood how machines could be more than just metal and circuits. Kim Yuna, a former military strategist, approached Jun with a worn clipboard. "We've mapped out the remaining technological resources," she said, her voice steady despite the exhaustion that lined her face. Jun nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. The aliens had been thorough in their destruction, but they had made one critical mistake. They never understood human adaptability. Every piece of broken machinery, every crushed vehicle, every damaged communication array could be something more. "We're going to rebuild," Joan announced to the group. Some looked at her like she was crazy. Others, those who had survived the initial invasion, showed a glimmer of hope in their eyes. Lee Sung, their AI and systems specialist, brought over a damaged portable computer. "Look at this," he said, showing June how certain components could be repurposed. "If we can extract the core processing units and rebuild them with our new adaptive technology, we might create something the aliens never expected." The team worked through the first night, sorting through mountains of scrap. Old military vehicles became potential hull components. Industrial generators could be converted into power sources. Communication towers could be transformed into sensor arrays and communication systems. Choi Hyun managed the resource coordination, mapping out which sections of the abandoned cities might still hold valuable technological components. Old manufacturing plants, research facilities, and even residential areas became potential treasure troves of rebuilding materials. As dawn broke, casting a pale light over the destruction, Jun realized they were doing more than just surviving. They were preparing to fight back. The aliens had thought humanity was finished, that their advanced technology had completely overwhelmed Earth's defenses, but they didn't understand the human spirit of innovation. "We're not just going to survive," Jun told her team. "We're going to turn their destruction into our greatest weapon." The first prototype began taking shape, a modular design that could adapt and change. Parts that seemed incompatible were welded together, modified with new technologies that blended human creativity with the remnants of alien technology they had managed to salvage from crashed ships. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfect. But it was a beginning. Outside their makeshift workshop, the world remained a testament to the invasion. Broken cities stretched to the horizon, silent and empty. But inside, a new hope was being constructed. Piece by piece, circuit by circuit, from the very scraps that were meant to be humanity's tombstone. The workshop hummed with an electric energy that felt almost alive. Kim Yuna stood before a complex holographic display, her fingers dancing across virtual interfaces as she worked on something revolutionary. The nano-reconstruction technology she had been developing was more than just a scientific breakthrough. It was humanity's last hope. Scattered around her, damaged components from various machines began to shift and change. What looked like ordinary metal started to rearrange at the molecular level. A rusted car door slowly transformed, its damaged surface smoothing and strengthening. Nearby, Lee Sung monitored the process, his eyes wide with scientific excitement. "It's working," he whispered, watching as microscopic nanobots removed the metal structure. Each tiny machine worked with precision, rebuilding damaged materials, removing corrosion, and reinforcing weak points. What was once considered scrap was becoming something entirely new. Park Jun walked into the workshop, her boots leaving dusty prints on the concrete floor. She watched as a damaged communication tower's metal framework began to reshape itself. The nanobots moved like tiny dancers, creating intricate connections and removing imperfections. "We're not just repairing," Yuna explained, her voice filled with passion. "We're completely reimagining how technology can work. Each piece of machinery becomes something more than it was originally." An old industrial generator caught their attention. What was once a massive, damaged piece of equipment now began to transform. Its core started to compact, becoming more efficient. Energy conduits reformed, creating pathways that were stronger and more responsive than the original design. Choi Hyun brought in more salvaged materials, broken computer parts, damaged satellite components, fragments of military equipment. Nothing was considered useless anymore. Each piece became a potential building block for their ambitious project. The team worked through days and nights. Outside, the world remained a broken landscape, but inside their workshop, a miracle was happening. Technology was being resurrected, given new life and purpose. The nanobots didn't just repair, they reimagined. A prototype spacecraft component took shape. Its surface looked like a beautiful blend of human engineering and something entirely new. Sharp angles merged with curved surfaces. Materials that should never have worked together found perfect harmony. "The aliens won't understand this," Lee Sung said, tracing the new component's design. "They think in rigid, predictable ways. But we're creating something completely unexpected." Yuna smiled. Their technology was adaptive, capable of learning and changing. Each piece they created could modify itself based on environmental conditions. What worked in one situation could quickly transform for another. The first complete module emerged, a piece of a potential spacecraft that looked like nothing the aliens had ever seen. It was beautiful in its complexity, ugly in its improvised design, but perfect in its potential. "We're turning destruction into creation," Jum said, watching the module rotate slowly on its display. "Every piece of damage becomes an opportunity." Outside, the world remained silent. Cities stood broken. The broken world outside remained a testament to the alien invasion. Cities stood in ruins. Landscapes were scared. But something new was emerging from those ruins, a technological phoenix, built from humanity's most desperate remnants. The first strike was complete, and the aliens would never see the next one coming. The counteroffensive began with a whisper, not a roar. Every human settlement became a contributor to the growing fleet, sending whatever technological fragments they could salvage. What started as a small resistance had transformed into a global technological movement. Park Jun watched the new ships taking shape. Each vessel was unique, a living testament to human creativity. An old truck's chassis became a ship's hull. Industrial cooling systems transformed into advanced heat management networks. Communication towers became sensor arrays that could detect threats light years away. The adaptive AI systems developed by Lee Sung were the true game changer. These were not simple computer programs, but learning networks that absorbed every piece of tactical information. Each battle became a lesson, each encounter an opportunity for improvement. Alien communication channels began showing increasing panic. Their perfectly organized invasion force discovered something terrifying. Humanity was not just fighting back, but evolving faster than the invaders could understand. "They expected us to be broken," Kim Yuna said, analyzing the latest transmission intercepts. "Instead, we're becoming something they never predicted." The first major engagement proved their transformation. Where previous human encounters ended in defeat, this battle showed something entirely different. The modified warships moved like living creatures, anticipating alien tactical movements before they happened. 3 alien battleships went dark within minutes. Not destroyed, completely neutralized. Their advanced technological systems simply stopped functioning, overwhelmed by human-engineered interference signals. Choi Hyun managed the global resource network, ensuring that every piece of technology, no matter how small, found its way into the reconstruction efforts. Old smartphones became computational cores. Damaged satellite components transformed into advanced communication systems. The fleet grew, not through traditional manufacturing, but through constant adaptation. Each ship was a living system, capable of rebuilding and improving itself during combat. Damage became an opportunity for upgrade, not a weakness. Lee Sung's AI systems began predicting alien movement patterns with remarkable accuracy. What was once considered impossible became routine. The human fleet could now anticipate entire alien strategic approaches before they were implemented. "We're not just fighting," Park Jun told her team. "We're rewriting the rules of technological warfare." Alien command structures began to fracture. Their perfectly organized invasion force discovered something they never expected. Humanity was not a defeated species, but a constantly evolving technological organism. The counteroffensive moved from defensive to offensive. Human ships began targeting alien supply lines, communication networks, and strategic outposts. Each strike was precise, unexpected, and devastating. Settlements that were once broken started producing advanced technological components. What looked like destroyed industrial zones became innovation centers. Humanity was turning the very destruction meant to end them into their greatest weapon. "They thought they could break us," Kim Yuna would often say. "Instead, they taught us how to become something entirely new." The modified warships no longer looked like improvised machines. They became something beautiful and terrifying. Living technological systems that represented human resilience, creativity, and unbending spirit. Alien strategists began to realize a critical truth, a testament to the alien invasion. But inside this workshop, humanity was writing its comeback story. One molecular reconstruction at a time, they were building hope. The nanobots continued their work, transforming broken machinery into something extraordinary. Each component told a story of human resilience, of the ability to adapt and overcome. What the aliens saw as a defeated civilization was about to become their worst nightmare. As night fell, the workshop continued to glow. Machines hummed, nanobots danced, and the first pieces of humanity's revenge took shape, born from the very destruction meant to end them. June looked at her team. They were tired, dirty, but their eyes burned with determination. They weren't just engineers or survivors anymore. They were the architects of humanity's revenge. The Scrapyard was no longer just a graveyard of broken dreams. It was becoming a forge of human resilience, a place where destruction would be transformed into something powerful, something unexpected. And the aliens would never see it coming. Deep beneath the ruins of an old research facility, Lee Sum worked furiously. Screens flickered with alien communication network data, each line of code a potential weapon against the invaders. His fingers moved quickly, decoding complex transmission patterns that most humans would consider impossible to understand. Around him, hidden communication centers hummed with quiet intensity. Survivors from different parts of the world had found ways to connect, sharing information through encrypted channels. What looked like simple radio equipment was actually a sophisticated network of resistance communication. Choi Hyun managed the resource coordination, mapping out potential gathering points for technological components. Old underground tunnels, abandoned military bunkers, and forgotten research facilities became critical infrastructure for the human resistance. Each location was carefully selected, protected from alien scanning technologies. Park Jun's team had discovered something remarkable. The aliens had predictable technological patterns. Their communication systems, while advanced, had consistent weaknesses. Lee Sung began developing specialized interference technologies that could disrupt their networks. "We're not just fighting," Lee told Jun, pointing at a complex holographic display. "We're learning their entire technological language. Every transmission gives us more information." Scattered resistance groups began to coordinate. In the mountains of South America, a team of engineers modified old mining equipment. In abandoned European research facilities, scientists developed advanced camouflage technologies. In hidden Asian underground complexes, weapons specialists created new defense systems. The aliens believed they had crushed human resistance. They saw Earth as a conquered planet, its population reduced to scattered survivors. They never understood the human capacity for adaptation and hidden organization. Communication became their primary weapon. Small teams shared technological discoveries. A breakthrough in one location would be quickly shared and improved by others. What seemed like isolated efforts became a global, coordinated resistance. Kim Yuna's military background proved crucial. She helped design communication protocols that were nearly impossible for the aliens to intercept. Each message was a puzzle, each transmission a potential trap. The resistance was learning to fight not just with weapons, but with intelligence. Underground workshops became innovation centers. Old manufacturing equipment was repurposed. Damaged alien technology was carefully studied and reverse engineered. Every piece of equipment became a potential weapon. "They think they've won," Jun would tell her team. "But they have no idea what we're building." The resistance discovered something critical. The aliens' technological systems had a fundamental flaw. Their advanced technology relied on centralized communication networks. By developing technologies that could disrupt these networks, humans could create significant vulnerabilities. Small teams began preparing. They weren't just planning defense, they were planning a counterattack. Each modified piece of equipment, each decoded transmission, brought them closer to understanding their enemy. In hidden facilities across the planet, humans were transforming. They were no longer just survivors. They were becoming something else, a technological resistance that would reshape the entire conflict. Lee Sung's screen showed increasing alien communication confusion. Their networks were experiencing unexplained interruptions. Small technological traps were being set, waiting to be triggered. The underground rebellion was more than a resistance.